Right, hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Round, the show where we give you all your latest updates on LFC and football related topics. People, it's a new day, it's a new dawn, smash a like on the video, but only if you enjoy, of course, and let's get into today's Redmond Roundup with no rambling. It's been a few days, so I suggest I shut my mouth and just get right into the first piece of news, which is about a midfielder, of course, because for those who don't know, which you should know if you watch this channel, Gini left and we need a midfielder, but it's a debate within the club right now, whether we actually do or we don't. Some people are saying give Curtis a chance and some people are saying elsewhere. But in this video we're going to be talking a bit more about midfielders. And the first piece of news that I've got to give to you is Liverpool are definitely in for Neuhaus. Florian Neuhaus from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now, by the way, also I'm going to be talking about like the Euros fixtures and stuff in a bit as well. But we get the news out the way first. As always, if you want to skip to it, there's the timestamps in the comments and across the video and stuff. But Neuhaus, or Florian Neuhaus, or Neuhaus, or Naus, I don't know how you say his name, but basically I'm probably going to butcher his name for the whole show. That being said, he is a 24-year-old midfielder who has shown great signs of passing, range of passing and range of shooting. Someone who is very, very good going forward. He can also play a lot of games. Last season, he played 51 times for Mönchengladbach. He scored 10 goals, he got 5 assists. Very important part of the team. Also played in Europe, which is always a good factor when it comes to possibly signing a player or not. Them stats tell me, and this is stats are for mugs, but them stats tell me that he is someone who would fit the mould of what we were at least lacking last season. But then some people would say, nah, let's give Curtis a chance, or nah, let's maybe, look elsewhere. That being said, the question I simply want to ask you is this a player that you want to look at? Because Florian Neuhaus, I need to know how to say his name first of all, but if this is a player that we actually sign, it's a player that we've been heavily linked with over recent days. It's not someone who's impossible because, you've got to look at a few factors. He's coming from the Bundesliga. There's a few players that have came from the Bundesliga in our team. Now, listen, it's worked out for some. It hasn't worked out as much for others. You look at Naby Keita, Joel Matip, even Loris Karius came from it. Like Naby Keita hasn't worked, Loris Karius hasn't worked, Joel Matip, kind of. Firmino, it has worked out in many senses. In fact, I'm going to say it has worked out for Joel Matip. He was still quality at times. It's just, it could have been more. Do you get what I mean? Whereas Naby Keita, he hasn't really shown a hell of a lot right now. So the Bundesliga, buying players from there is one of them. But from what I've seen of this player, he has got the ability to at least add something to the squad. He might not be in the starting 11, but that's absolutely fine because we've got Henderson, we've got Thiago, and we've got Fabinho. We're not desperate for first team midfielders. In fact, there was a big shout that if Gini did stay, he weren't going to be a first team midfielder. All the more reason why that move to PSG could be boss. But that's why. But I still suggest to get the options because that's what we lacked last season in many different aspects. And if we did have the options of a creative midfielder who can score long shots, who can pass the ball better than most in that league, then listen, that's going to be important because you're going to need him for them Champions League games. And let's not even forget to mention, we never do well in the Cups. We never do well in the League Cup. We never do well in the FA Cup. And you become a big club by just winning them trophies because what people don't realise, maybe in the moment, a League Cup doesn't mean as much. One Champions League means more than 10 League Cups. Bet you, ask any City fan, I bet you any money they would replace all them League Cups for one Champions League. And if they didn't, that'd be a bit mad to me. But you have also got to give them this. Each League Cup adds up as a trophy. It adds to your history. It makes you more prestigious. Do you hear what I'm saying? So that's just the way I think of it. And to be more of a prestigious club than what we already are, Liverpool need to go out and buy a good squad to compete on all fronts. The reason why City are always there and thereabouts is because they haven't just got 50, 60 million pound players on the pitch. They've got 50 to 60 million pound players on the bench. And everyone thinks when I do these videos and I talk about transfers, oh, James, all you want is just to be like City and to be like Chelsea. No, I want us to be more like them. And I want us to spend more. Because welcome to 2021, baby. That's the way you've got to do things if you want to win trophies. And if we don't win trophies, you're going to be the one complaining. So I'm just going with the necessary adjustments. I'm not saying go out and buy Aouar from Lyon. I'm not saying go out and buy friggin' Kimmich from Bayern Munich. I'm telling you to go out and buy Neuhaus, who will cost 35 million, probably no more. So why am I being painted out as this money-grabbing bastard who just wants nothing but to be like Manchester City and Chelsea? And if I wanted to be like Manchester City and Chelsea, What's so bad about that? Liverpool have done this the historic way. We've done it the easy way. Even in a money world, we've done it fair. We were in the financial fair play rules. The net spend was crazy and we still won the league and Champions League. We've proven everything we need to do. What if we spend a little bit more money and put the club in a better off position? You know what I mean? Oh, but you're removing the traditions away from the club. The traditions are the same. They always evolve. More people will start to know Liverpool are, and therefore, I'm going on in a completely different conversation, but it's just this argument that we shouldn't be going out and buying a midfielder. If you don't think we need a first team midfielder, that's fine. But I still suggest that we need to get a midfielder because squad rotation is massive, as we've saw in this season. So next in the news, Mundo Deportivo are suggesting Leicester want to buy a Coutinho. Now, how interesting is this one? Now, they are considering either a loan deal or bidding in the region of 17 million euros. Now, obviously, I need to see more of this to be able to confirm to you whether this will be legit or not. But when I saw this link, it just brought the question and the topic. Obviously, Coutinho's being linked with Liverpool. He was linked with Everton a few weeks ago. What's the best move for Coutinho? It's a player who used to play for Liverpool, and he's actually a very, very good technical player, whether you like it or not. What Coutinho, the thing that made him so world-class, not just good, world-class, is something that you can't lose, and it's just the IQ of the game, the silkiness on the ball. That's something that even when you lose a yard of pace, that's still there. That long curve shot that he's so notorious for doing, that's still there. And all it takes, if Coutinho, look at Kante this season, and I'm not trying to slate on Kante, but he was having, in my opinion, a fairly average first half of the season under Frank Lampard. Weren't really getting in the team as often as he usually does and weren't performing to the level he usually does. But then he performed in a quarter-final of the Champions League. Furthermore, performed in a semi-final of the Champions League, and then furthermore went on to play brilliant, the man of the match in the final of the Champions League, and also had a good spell between probably February and the end of the season, maybe even a little bit sooner. But people are putting him in for the Ballon d'Or when players like Gundogan has been smashing it all season, but because he got there in the big games, everyone's saying, oh no, but Kante, he's done this. Coutinho is only really them type of moments away from still being a world-class player. It's just Coutinho hasn't had them moments. He hasn't had a semi-final. He hasn't had a quarter-final. And whether you agree or disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. But let's get a little conversation going here. Why is Coutinho not world-class? It's not because he's shit at football. It's because the things he was doing on a week-to-week basis in a Liverpool team where he would stand out more than anyone on that damn pitch. He has now gone to a Barcelona where he doesn't necessarily stand out as much and things haven't gone as much his way. But you do remember when he scored against Bayern Munich, when he scored against Barcelona for Bayern Munich, people were jumping on his high horse again. Oh, he should get a big move. Oh, maybe Bayern Munich should get him. And granted, he hasn't been the greatest since he's left the club, but to doubt his ability and believe that he still can achieve greatness at the highest level, you know, I look at these links with Leicester, I think it's rather offensive, and I love Leicester. I think Leicester are only on the way up, but if we're talking right here, right now, Coutinho is a player who is 29, 30 years of age. This is not a player that should be waiting around for what he should or shouldn't do. He should be wanting, and not only wanting, demanding Champions League football to even put himself in the chance of winning that damn competition. He left us and didn't win it, so he's still going to want to win it. Why would you go to Leicester, and where would the best place for him to go to be? Because he's still got quality. The thing that you lose isn't what he's lost. Like Mane, he is a player that will last shorter time than Coutinho because he's not as technically gifted. He does also rely on his physicality a lot. Sterling is another type of player. Coutinho isn't that type of player. He's not really that physical. He's more just someone who he'll be gone by the time you blinked because his movement, he's intelligent with it. So that's the argument that I wanted to bring for Coutinho. I'm not saying he's as good as what he was at Liverpool, but that long shot is still there. That long shot that you all love, that will still be there. And again, he's been injured all season. If he was playing for Barcelona, and let's say a lot of if buts and maybes here, but let's say he did end up having a good quarter-final like a Kante, a good semi-final like a Kante, a good final like Kante, it's an interesting topic of conversation for the ones who wouldn't want Coutinho to then put themselves back into that. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Oh my god, did you think that we could end the video without talking about Gini Wijnaldum? Of course we couldn't. Well, first off, he scored for the Netherlands, but we've actually got a bit of news about Gini Wijnaldum, and then we're going to go into the Euros roundup. So, he has came out and he has said and he has stated that he is going to explain the reasoning behind him leaving Liverpool at the end of a Euros. Oh, Gini, stop treating it like a Netflix series, fella, because that's exactly what he's doing, treating it like a damn Netflix series. First he was saying, oh, one day I will reveal why I left Liverpool. Now he's saying, oh, after the Euros I will reveal why I left Liverpool. Fucking hell, Gini. Fuck it with all the hangers, son. Just tell us, will ya? Because I want to know. Oh, I don't know what it could be. Because here's the thing. Like, we all think it's money. And it most likely will be money. I'm not going to lie to you. Bloody hell, I've been getting too close to the camera today. Hopefully you haven't minded. And it most likely will be money. But you've also got to take into consideration, footballers are very sensitive when talking about money and finances, because just people take it the wrong way and there's too many opinions to worry about. So they tend to leave that private. Gini would be one of the first players, while still playing, to come out and talk about finances, like if he weren't getting paid enough. So that leads me to at least wonder, could it be something else? Like, could it be money? Because it will be something to do with money, I'm sure. Gini was getting robbed with his wages. Still good wages for a normal person, but for the footballer that he was, and comparing him to the footballers that were getting more than him, it was outrageous, the money that he was getting paid. And I just think to myself, what could the reason be? Because I don't think he's going to come out while still being in the playing of his career, while he's still got the relationship that he's got with the Liverpool fans, and come out and slate the ball for just money. There's got to be more to it. I don't know if it's age. I don't think this is going to be some crazy ass reason. It's like, you know, a film that's being built up to have a great ending, but then the ending shit. I think this is what this is going to be. It's not going to be something crazy, but it still makes me curious about what he's chatting. And I want to know what you think he could be chatting in the comments down below. And then we end this video with the Euros fucking roundup. And this is the Redmond roundup. So we're going to do the Euros roundup on the Redmond roundup. England beat Croatia. So that was one game that I did get to see. I missed the first 10 minutes or so. But from what I was watching, all the way till the end of the game, England had control. They played the better football, and to be honest, I'm rather surprised. But I did realise probably 10 minutes after watching the game myself, like, yeah, Croatia are not the strongest, and we might have overestimated them massively. Just with the fact before, they have had more solid teams, and that solid team they had in the World Cup and whatnot, it is most certainly on the other side of the hill. They've still got good players though, so that's why I don't want to take away the 3 points that we very so certainly deserved. Standout performers in that game. Do you know one player that I've got to talk about? In fact, there's two, but there's one that I want to talk about because I've gave him so much stick. I thought Tyrone Mings had a very good game for England. I thought, very good might be a bit of a beyond, but listen, he was very solid. He never really put a foot out of place, and that's someone who's been getting a lot of criticism in the build-up of this Euros. And another player that's been getting quite a bit of criticism is Calvin Phillips. Oh my goodness, he looked like the payload of the midfield, mate. Nah, listen, Calvin Phillips smashed it against Croatia. You've got to give it to him. But one thing I don't want people to do, and again, there's probably going to be a few Leeds fans, shout out your damn selves, Leeds. But nah, what I'm trying to say is that Calvin Phillips, great, solid player and a great performance against Croatia. But that game in itself will increase his value by like 5-10 million. It just will, because he's now done it on a big stage. Even though it's in the group stage. Like, it's mad. It's a bit of a... I'm going to say this. I like Calvin Phillips. I really, really do. But I still don't think he should start every single game. Like, that's just me. I think Henderson should play above him. And I think Rice should definitely play above him. And I just think, you know, they tend to build these little bandwagons after a good performance or two, like football fans. And I don't want football fans to do that with this team. Mason Mount had a very good performance also. Sterling got the goal. Obviously, there was the fans booing before the game, which is just a load of shite because they don't even know what they're booing about. There's a lot more that I could talk about with that conversation, but it is what it is. Sterling got the goal, and then the fans were celebrating the goal. Just make... like, mate, you know what I mean? But Sterling, fair play to him, because that is also someone who I very much did doubt going into the Euros about having a contribution to this team. But he shows that he's got the experience, and even though he might have not had the greatest season, even though he might not be the most technically gifted player, he is still Raheem Sterling, he is still Raheem the Dream, and he can get the job done in the Three Lions wearing bastard and shirt. So fair play to him, and fair play to the squad as a whole. Italy won their first game against Turkey. I told you, Turkey are not all that. They are not all that. They've got Kabak, they've got Soyuncu, they've got a few good centre-backs. But England have got a better defence than Turkey. If they just have 3 sound centre-backs, doesn't mean they're going to win the whole competition. Italy have got a much better defence than Turkey, and also a much better attack. So everything I said leading into this game exactly happened. Italy were going to dominate, and I think Italy will win the whole Euros, simply for the reason they're the hardest team to beat. Now, I could be wrong because I'm stupid, but that's my reasoning. I said that about Chelsea from the quarter-final stage to the final. I'm going to say that about Italy. They are really, like, I'm in no sweepstakes, but they are really my dark horse to win this tournament. And then Gini scored for the Netherlands in a victory. Oh, it was the team against. I should have really got it up. I've just wrote down Gini scored because I remembered the team, but now I can't remember. That being said, how come is it you turn into Messi for the Netherlands, Gini, and then for Liverpool you can't score a goal to save his damn life? But, you know, listen, I see how it is, Gini. But nah, made up for him, as always. I'd love the Netherlands to win the Euros. They won't, because they got Frank de Boer, but still it'd be sick, do you know what I mean? Anyway, people, that's going to be the end of today's Redmond Roundup. That's going to be the end of the Euro Roundup, and hopefully you enjoyed. We're winging these, do you know what I mean? I'm just seeing like how the show can get better and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But it's always a chill vibe show. People like it, makes people happy. Makes me happy that it makes people happy. And for those who doesn't like it, that's absolutely fine. Thank you for the chance, you know what I mean, mate. Like that really does go a long way, and I do really appreciate it when people click on a video and give a little fat scouser a chance, you know what I mean. So, nice one, the boy. Nice one, the boys. Anyway, I will see you all later. Have a marvellous day, and peace out.